The courtroom was thick with tension as Judge Colin, a man known for his arrogance and unchecked power, leaned forward, ready to destroy Ibrahim Traoré. He had spent years manipulating the law, but today was different. Today, Ibrahim would not bow to his injustice. "You think you're untouchable," the judge sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. But in a few moments he would find out just how wrong he was. Introduction and setup. It was a day like any other in the bustling capital of Burkina Faso, where the air smelled of dust and rain, and the streets were alive with the hum of a city, in constant motion. Inside the grand courthouse, a cold, sterile silence hung in the air. The marble floors gleamed under the fluorescent lights, and the echo of footsteps felt like the ticking of a clock, counting down to an inevitable confrontation. Ibrahim Traoré, the young but respected prime minister, sat across from the judge's imposing wooden desk, his eyes calm but resolute. His posture was perfect, neither submissive nor aggressive, but steady and unwavering, like a man who knew he was on the brink of something that would change everything. Judge Colin, on the other hand, sat at the top of the courtroom, his eyes cold and calculating. His reputation for manipulation and abuse of power was known far and wide. He had abused his position for years, and today he was determined to humiliate Ibrahim for daring to challenge his authority. But what Colin didn't know was that Ibrahim's presence in this courtroom wasn't just for his own defense. It was for the people he had sworn to protect. Conflict or challenge introduced. The judge's voice broke the silence. His words, sharp, designed to cut into Ibrahim's confidence. "You, Prime Minister Traoré, are nothing but a puppet, a man who is easily controlled by foreign powers. What do you think you'll accomplish here, challenging the very system that keeps this country from falling apart?" He paused, his lips curling into a cruel smile. "You are just a pawn in a game much larger than you." Ibrahim's heart raced, but his face remained an emotionless mask. The courtroom, packed with reporters, watched in silence. The judge's words were calculated to provoke, to break Ibrahim's resolve, but they did nothing more than fuel his inner fire. "You see," Judge Colin continued, his eyes narrowing, "you've proven that you cannot even control your own country. You're a failure. And today, the world will see just how far you're willing to go to deceive your people." But Ibrahim's mind was elsewhere, focused not on the attack but on the moment when he would expose this judge for what he truly was: corrupt, manipulative, and dangerous. Midpoint revelation or twist. Just as Judge Colin was basking in his moment of victory, Ibrahim's voice rang out, quiet but unwavering. "You talk about control, but you are the one who has been controlled for far too long." The words hit harder than any accusation. The room fell into stunned silence as Ibrahim stood, his presence commanding, his voice steady and unwavering. "Your manipulation of the law ends today. The world knows who you are, and soon, so will everyone here." With a swift motion, Ibrahim gestured to the door, and in that moment the security officers, who had been quietly observing the proceedings, moved toward the judge. He had no idea what was coming next. His sneer turned to confusion as they surrounded him, his arms seized in a flash. The judge's face twisted in rage as he tried to break free, but it was too late. "I'm afraid your time is up," Ibrahim said calmly, his eyes now filled with something far more dangerous than anger: justice. Climax. Emotional breakthrough. As the judge was handcuffed and led away, the room was left in shocked silence. The reporters' cameras clicked furiously, capturing every moment. Ibrahim, once the target of the corrupt judge's jeers, now stood in front of the courtroom as a symbol of truth, a beacon of hope for those who had suffered under the same oppressive system. There was no triumph in Ibrahim's eyes, no smile of victory. Instead, there was something deeper, an understanding that this was just the beginning. "You're not untouchable," Ibrahim's voice rang through the room. "And neither is anyone who tries to manipulate the law for their own gain. The people will no longer tolerate this. I stand here not for myself, but for all of them, for justice." The weight of those words hung heavy in the air, reverberating through the room long after the judge was taken away. The room began to stir, as if the very walls had absorbed the truth and were now awake, ready for change. Resolution and quiet closure. The courthouse slowly emptied, but Ibrahim remained standing in the same spot, staring out the tall windows that overlooked the city. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the courtroom floor. The moment had passed, but the impact was profound. He had not only exposed a corrupt judge, he had ignited something larger, a spark of change that would spread far beyond the walls of this courtroom. Outside, the streets of Ouagadougou were alive with the noise of a city that was changing. As Ibrahim stepped into the cool evening air, he felt a quiet sense of peace. The battle was not over, but today, justice had won. Call to action for YouTube. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing for more inspiring tales of hope, healing, and unexpected kindness. Hit the like button and share this with someone who needs it today. Let's stand for justice together.